Welcome to the world of sound like you've never heard before. Today we're diving into Pluralis, a delay plugin that doesn't just repeat, it reinvents. With 4 powerful split modes, mid-side, left and right, quiet, loud, and low and high, Pluralis gives you total control over how your signal dances in the stereo field. From lush echoes to gritty tape-like saturation, its sync options, feedback filters, and modulations offer endless creative possibilities. And with freeze, dispersion, and quick A/B switching, experimenting has never been this fun. You ready to shatter your sound and sculpt your mix? Let's plug in and explore Pluralis. Okay, so here we are in Ableton, and let's have a listen to what I'm working at the moment. Sweet, so banging house track there, jacking house, moving forward. So I have Pluralis on a return track, and I'm using on this vocal.
That you want me, babe. Just don't let me go. Don't let me go. I know that you need me, babe.
You can start to hear it coming through there.
Never let me go. I know.
I saw the return track. So the first thing that I noticed, and I think it's quite unique about Pluralis, is that you have a big knob right in the center, and it tells me straight away what it is and what's doing it there. And I can see I've got 4 different modes or options for affecting the signal. You've got left and right, mid-side, low and high, and quiet and loud. And what I think is quite cool about and quite unique about Pluralis is that it gives you all those 4 options straight away, and you can just flick through them and select as you wish. So let's just walk it through quickly. I'm just going to give a brief intro about each one of the modes. Standard left and right.
Just don't let me go.
Not much to say there. Next one is mid-side.
You want me, babe. Just don't let me go.
I'm assuming that delay 1 is the mid and delay 2 will be the sides. If you don't know about mid-side, mids is the sum of your left and right channel, and the sides is the difference. Let's have a listen just to the sides.
That you want me, babe. Just
because it's the difference, you'll be much quieter, so you want to turn your gain input. And it's quite nice. I'm hoping you've got headphones on. You can hear that. That's a nice stereo width to the signal. It's quite lush, and it also adds a 3D space to the mix, meaning front and back. So that's really good and really handy and useful if you're looking to get more of that kind of ear candy effects into your productions. The other thing that's really useful about Pluralis is that you have an EQ on both sides, or the mid and the side. So if you feel like your low end is too muddy, you can just move around your high pass, and the same for the low pass. And I can see the frequencies up there, which is really nice. You can right click, default to value. Usually it's double click on most plugins. This is right click. It's quite handy. Cool, let's have a look. Next mode we've got is low and high. And I was playing around trying to find some uses for this. And I feel like having an LFO to create an automation for that. So the way that I do it is basically, if I just turn it off, I'll just move that this is specifically for Ableton. I'll just move this this knob, and I can see it, move it down there. I can then right click and assign an automation, or I can come to my LFO, actually click in there on this little screen and select the crossover. And I had a look at the menu, couldn't find much information about this the low high setting and also the quite loud. But I'm assuming that this is the crossover is going from delay 1 to delay 2. And let's have a listen now with the LFO and the automation. So it feels like we're moving from side to side, but also is frequency dependent, which not only you getting the stereo width, but you're also getting the perceived change in amplitudes there. Let's hear with the track. So I think that's quite cool. Another thing you can try is something that I was having a lot of fun with, and again, it's quite unique to Pluralis, is you could freeze either side. So if I turn the left side, which in this case would be the low frequencies. And so it always freezes what you had previously. So if you're not hearing anything there, just unfreeze it and make sure you got enough gain, and then freeze it back. Now we got a frozen loop, like similar to a tape echo, like kind of a continuous loop. And if I bring back the the delay 1, so in this case the low portion of the sound, now we got the frozen tops, but the triplets, half note triplets on delay 1. If we turn the frozen delay 2 up, unfreeze it. So you got to make sure that you're freezing it when you have both the lows and the mids, and I think that's because of the LFO down there. Turn that down a bit. So that's quite cool, useful little use case there. If I just unfreeze that. And now let's check the last setting, which is quiet and loud. And now instead of you having your crossover depending on which frequency you select, now is based on amplitude, so volume. And we try the same little modulation trick. So now essentially we're modulating, affecting the volume, so loudness there. The other really cool trick that I found is you also have modulation in the plugin, and you can hear it straight away, quite a lush sound into it. I'm assuming this is the level. This looks like an LFO, so this will be the level going in to the modulation. This is the rate, so obviously the longer and more spread out, the lower the frequencies, higher spread out, closer and spread in, you'll be higher frequencies. This is how much you're feeding into the signal, into the LFO and the modulation. And this dispersion thing is really lush. You start to get some kind of grainy delay type of effects. And what I love about this is that, let's say you have a sound which is let's say you have a sound that's very transient heavy, and you want to push the sound to the back and create more of a, again, depth to your mix. I tend to use transient designers for this, but for this particular instance, and specifically inside an effect, essentially what you're doing here is you are transient designing by using the modulation dispersion. You're transient designing the wet signal on Pluralis, and that's, again, it's quite a unique feature that I haven't seen in many other plugins.
Just don't let me go.
If we make the rate of that LFO a bit slower. So very cool stuff there. Yeah, I think that's you know, I think I covered most of the stuff that makes the plugin unique. All right, so that is my review of Pluralis. Just a couple of closing points. Pros of the plugin: really easy to use, really nice interface. I love the color, I love the fonts. I can tell straight away where are things and how to find it. It also has a resizable interface, which is great because I work a lot on my laptop, which means I don't have a lot of screen space. I think the price point is really good. It's about £17, $22. I think it's really fair for what the plugin gives you. It gives you a lot of flexibility, and it's one of those things you just open and you start messing about and you start creating ideas straight away. The cons, what I found is I wanted to get more information about the different settings, and I was hoping I could find a bit more in-depth information on the plugin's manufacturer's website, but there wasn't much out there. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.